Hey everyone, mic check, mic check. Please let me know if the sound is not good. And also please use the comments to ask questions, and great to see you all today. So today is our first ever fully AI generated world launch event. And every word is important. AI generated world and launch. And first is also pretty important for us. So as some of you might know, over the last 3 or 4 months, we were developing the Crusader engine. And Crusader engine is AI-powered world-building machine, right? Yeah, hey everyone. So it started with basically it started like 5 years ago, something like that, but I won't spend your time on that. We've been figuring out, me, my friends, and my colleagues, we've been figuring out for quite some time what it takes and how we should approach the proper world building, right? Because when you talk about world building, things become pretty vague pretty quickly, because everyone has their own understanding of what world building is and what you need to know, right, and to be able to do in order to be a world builder. And a lot of the times, people tend to basically end up in the storytelling area, right? And it's not quite that. Well, the story is very important, but as we used to say internally, if the 20 years history of World of Warcraft tells you anything about world building or franchise development, is that this storytelling is not very important. And the point of this statement is that basically, if you get your world building right, if you have the right components of your fictional world architecture, then it is really not very important how good your specific story is, right? Because people tend to ingest and unpack the fictional world that you introduce them to in their own imagination, and they use certain elements as anchors in their imagination, around which they build their own stories and perceptions and anticipation and possible, all kinds of imaginative stuff. And so we've been thinking about like how you approach that, and we spent a lot of time, several years, figuring that out. We, meaning people from games industry mostly, and so-called the thing that is now called multimedia, which is basically movie, TV, news media, and social media right, content-wise and platform-wise. And we came up with the framework, which we reverse engineered, looking at the best examples that we had opportunity to work with in our professional lives, and just analyzing and deconstructing everything we could just reach, and you think about things. Think about like IMDb top 250, Metacritic top 100, top 200 per platform or all platforms, all time, box office ratings like top 100, top 200, top 300, multiple databases. We even did an exercise when we pretty much made the machine to read all the comments on Steam, reviews and comments on Steam, to figure out what people, like what players actually think about the world building and lore component of the games, and we learned a bunch, and sometimes we were surprised, being professionally in the industry, getting used to consider certain things important, and certain things not so important. And when you get this, let's say, the player or viewer perspective, every now and then you will be surprised about what people consider to be important for the world to be existentially inviting, and sticky, and what it takes to make someone want to literally live in those fictional worlds, right? So we ended up with building the framework. It is basically, I will not go into great details. Everyone who wants to know more about this framework can join our Discord. We have a QR code in the upper right corner. If you scan it, you can join our Discord, and we have literally the whole playbook of IP and fictional worlds development. It's like a manual. If you are a game developer or movie director or screenwriter, or building some sort of multimedia narrative driven product, you are very welcome to basically grab this playbook and use it within your own project. Hopefully it will help you, because it helped a lot of people before. And so I will leave that aside for today, because otherwise it will take like 10 hours to just go through the beginning of the concept. But the main idea is that you need to consider world building as if it is a backend of your narrative product, right? Because even the setting, picking the setting genre. I'm not even talking about the specific stories, right, and copywriting and whatever that is, like filmmaking. Even setting and genre are already front end, right? And when you build the potential franchise, the entertainment IP, the fictional world, you need to start from the backend, because this backend will define, it will even guide you through the setting, choosing the setting and the genre, right? In a way. And of course, it will basically guide the way the stories are developed in this world, right? Because it will have the core motivations and like the dynamics. It's you think about it like the physics of your world, right? If you will put yourself in a position of like a physicist who is basically researching our world, right? It has certain rules, like these things can happen, these things cannot happen. There are forces, like few of them, like the most important forces that influence pretty much everything that is that can or cannot happen, right? In this in our universe. So the same goes with the world building to the physics of your fictional world, right? And you can find that in the book, right? So we took this framework in our first iteration, and I already see some people in the comments who were the part of this first iteration. We made it the incubation program, and it was free in terms of like, you didn't have to pay for that, but it was like 8-month commitment. Yeah, of course, people are asking, are we going to do something other than this blah 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 stuff? Yeah, we'll have you'll have to wait a few minutes, and we'll talk about the first vault that we'll introduce today, that our world building engine created. And there are a few twists about that world. Just give me a couple of minutes, I will finish the introduction and we'll get back there. So we used that framework in our incubation program, ended up with developing like 12 fictional worlds. Actual people used the framework to develop those worlds. And then we thought that, yeah, well, if we have to if we have to spend 8 months, in all that effort for basically a education activity, how about, given where everything is going in entertainment and media with AI and generated content, how about we teach the robot, to use the framework, and not only to use the framework, because as a result of using this framework, you get the world description, but that's not something that you can, monetize. Like, well, it's like if you invented the Star Wars universe, but you don't have a movie or a game or something to deliver to your potential audience, then like it's just an idea which is nicely arranged and structured, but it's still just an idea. So we thought that, okay, if the robot will be able to develop these structured fictional world descriptions, why don't we teach the robot to also to create content, right? And so we did that. Took us this last summer, and we 3 weeks ago we launched the prototype, and this prototype now can generate the fictional world, structured fictional world description with all the necessary items, like characters, locations, and factions, and like archetypes even of characters and things of that nature, and how they are, the relations between them, and so on and so on. And and after that, our engine, looking at the world description, it decides like what type of personality is needed to be the showrunner of this universe, and it generates the personality of the showrunner. We call it synth authors. which is basically a set of variables, including the style, interests in certain subjects, experience with the chosen setting or genre, and things like that. And then the engine takes the world architecture, this synth author, and first thing it does, it generates the novel, like real novel, like 200 pages and more. Our first novel was like 460 pages, available on Amazon, by the way. And then, yeah, yeah. And then, sorry, I'm reading the comments as well. And why don't we just switch on the comments? Let's add them to the stream. Yeah, we have bilingual comment section. That's so yeah. So the engine generates the hey Max, the engine generates the world structure. Then it generates the scene author, combines it together and generates the novel, which we consider as the first product in this world, right? So it's like it's a literal book that you can read, and I will show you the first one, and then you can look around in our walls database and see other examples, right? Other novels and other worlds. And then it doesn't stop there. The engine, it looks into the world description and the novel, and it starts to generate things like book trailer, like videos, right? At this point in time, it's a vertical video for reels and shorts and things like that. So it generates the book trailer. Again, no humans are involved in the process, right? It's all generated. We only control the backend, the rule engine, and well, occasionally we look at the results, and we have an opportunity to, kind of point out that, this was good, this was bad, but in general, the machine is autonomous, right? So then it generates those vertical videos, which could be the book trailer, it could be a character introduction, it could be the description of the faction, of the location, or the specific artifact. By artifacts, we mean things like, the Death Star thing, or whatever, the something, like lightsabers, great rings of power, and things like that. So these things we consider artifacts important for the universe, and so it can make the introduction of those things. It can also create the something called micro dramas, the thing that is kind of becoming more and more like popular, right? Especially in social media, and it can also generate in terms of videos things like trendy videos from social media, like the cooking or like fashion video or fitness video or things like that, but set in the fictional world that this video is related to, right? And then it also generates audio. And in terms of audio, my personal favorite thing is podcasts, like generated podcasts, where non-existent hosts of those podcasts discuss the details of the lore of the world, generated also by the AI. So it's like robots discussing lore developed by robots, Yeah, and they have very lively conversation, and they kind of really dig into the depth of the layers of meaning that exist in this universe, and it's genuinely interesting and engaging to listen to that. And of course, we generate original soundtracks and voiceovers and background music, whatever that is. And again, it's absolutely autonomous, like zero humans involved, and we just switch the button and the thing goes, generates the world, generates the novel, and then all the content. And so we call it like in our kind of language, we have the world, we have the product, which is the novel at this point in time, and then we have promo content, right? So all those trailers and podcasts and things like that. And so when we started, when we launched the prototype 3 weeks ago, we just had the engine and our social media accounts, right? Yeah, social media accounts, and the other thing which is also important is that the robot publishes all those things autonomously, right? So we don't do the posting, right? It publishes the content to social media, it tracks the stats, and then analyzes that and learns based on what happened to like with the content, based on the performance of the content. So it's like full cycle AI creative studio, you may call it, right? That can generate and the speed of the thing. I mean, like right now with very limited resources that we have as in the early stage, we can generate one world a day. If you talk about like the whole package, like the wall structure, the novel, in this set of videos. So it's like 7 fictional worlds a week is the capacity right now. It can easily become like one fictional world an hour, but we're not there yet in terms of like our technical capabilities, just the scalability of the infrastructure. But it's absolutely there if we will ever need that. And what we're trying to build in general, and this is the end of the introduction, what we're trying to build is the new type of media. So the point is not in like, hey, the robot is generating the content, or even like the fictional worlds. The point is that we believe that like in a year from now, the landscape of the entertainment and media industry will change dramatically in a way that a lot of content will become like generated, right? And it will not like replace the handmade content. It will just increase the amount of content available. The same thing happened 10 years ago with social media. Like everyone who, and I personally was involved with the media company that was dealing with the news reviews and like user-generated content and stuff like that. And everyone in the industry was like, yeah, but no user will ever be as effective in terms of like the news making and in terms of the quality of the copywriting as our editorial staff, right? And then in a year, literally like maybe in 2 years, between 2012 and 2014, like the situation changed completely. And again, it didn't replace like the UGC in social media. It didn't replace the so-called like traditional media or editorial media. It just added like 5 times more content to the media landscape. And we believe that something similar will happen like in the next 12, 18 months. So we'll have just 5 or 10 times more content to consume. Well, no one knows what to do with that, but that's a different problem. No one knew 10 years ago what to do with all that UGC. And now we have like new business models, just new content strategies. Everything has changed. So something similar will happen, and we believe that in that world, where you have this ocean of content, which mostly will be free and easy to produce, and you won't need any kind of meaningful skills in terms of like the pixels creation, right? We're talking mass market thing, right? The like super specialized stuff will still remain super special stuff, specialized stuff. You won't have your World of Warcrafts or Call of Duties generated like on a daily basis, or like the 3-hour movies that you would love to watch. That's important. But in terms of like the mass market content and things that you consume like half of your day, the majority of that will become AI generated, and the quality is already it's already there. I mean, like the point of that content doesn't make a lot of sense often, right? But the quality, if you look at what VO3 does, I'd say it's much better than any original production team, like cable TV or something like that, right? It's already better. And so we're building this system that may become that wants to become a new type of media where you will be able to consume content, basically to watch or to read, right? And we're specializing in geek category, right? So it's sci-fi, fantasy, cyberpunk, post-apocalypse, things like that. So it's a place where you can read or view or listen to stories set in those fictional worlds and follow the world just as you do now, but also this system will be able to basically extend the universe based on your personal preferences, right? Or things that you like or you don't like. For example, you like the character and you want a spin-off about that character. You don't need to wait for some producer to make decision, right? You just point out that this character is interesting for you, and you get your spin-off or side story or in-depth, description or like additional story based on your personal interest. And the other thing that we will implement there is something that we call a co-creator economy. It's like for people who not only want to view or watch or read, but also want to participate in content creation. We will be inviting them to take part in extension of existing universes, so they don't have to kind of do this usual stuff that they have to do, like come up with your idea, spend 2 or 3 years to figure out if it even works, and then if you're lucky and still alive, then you have some chances to still compete in the market. So what we want to offer is that, hey, here are the fictional worlds that already have audience, right? And then become a co-creator within this universe that already is kind of live, and has followers and readers and fans. Do your part, and the machine will, kind of evaluate your submission, right? Your proposal for content of world extension. And then if it matches, like the canon, like if it's 80% canon, that we will consider it canon and add to the pipeline. So you don't have to worry about the distribution, right? In marketing and all that stuff. And you get your revenue share and you get your, in certain situation, your co-ownership rights, especially for this part, of course, that you have created. And so like we're building this, kind of very flexible and responsive new type of media based on fictional worlds, like the numerous, like thousands of fictional worlds that could be, as I said, generated on a daily basis. And those ones that don't work will go to the vault or to the archive, and those that work will become the subject, for viewership, consumption, and co-creation, and stuff like that. So yeah, there's that. And today, right, what happens right now, as soon as like this weekend, the test phase for Crusader engine finished and completed. And now it switched to the autonomous mode. So we still can, request the we still can request, things that we wanted to do, but it works autonomously right now, right? And so it enters this cadence. It entered on Monday, literally, like 2 days ago, where on Monday it will inform us like, hey, I'm working on this right now, and it will be this and that type of universe, right? So kind of a heads up, for us humans. And so on Wednesday, it drops like the package, right? So again, the wall description, the novel, and a set of video and audio assets. And all we have to do right now is just to witness, the release of the new fictional world, and we will be here weekly introducing those worlds to you guys. And yeah, my favorite question in the chat. And so, yeah, and this is the first one. And the first one I want to talk about, like it's one of those things that were generated during the test phase. We made an experiment. And I'll switch to the. We made an experiment and asked Crusader engine to research several popular people like Joe Rogan, Jordan Peterson, Lex Friedman, Eric Weinstein, and his brother Brett Weinstein, Sam Harris, Dr. Godsad, and Chris Williamson, yeah. And so, and we asked Crusader engine to come up with fictional worlds that will be based not on those people, not on the things that they created, like the books or whatever, but the worlds that will be generated around the based on the, let's say, media footprint of those people, right? Things that they're known for, like maybe their famous quotes or concepts that they associate with, or their behavior, or things that they're interested in, right? And one of those things, and it generated like 7 universes, 7 worlds, and generated respectively 7 novels, and all of them could be found on Amazon right now, and on this portal, which is called Crusader Worlds, where the engine automatically adds the universes that it creates and content associated with it. Happened again this last weekend. So now we have that, and as you can see, let me show you first how the thing looks. So here's the basically the main page. You have all those worlds here, and if you click on the world, where's our today's hero? Here is it. You have the world description right here. You can read. It's like on Tapas, or Webtoon. You have chapter by chapter. Look, you can click on the chapter and read it. It's absolutely free again. You can download it if you prefer to use the reader in multiple formats. And you see also like this synth author that is responsible for for the for stylistic details and for the specific storytelling aspects of this particular product, this particular novel. You can click on the author, see whether it did something else. This one didn't. You have again the world description and of course the recommendation module. And so we will also add, of course, the videos. Let me show you since you're already here. Let me check. Am I sharing this? Yeah, I'm sharing YouTube. So this is our YouTube channel, right? Here's our stream. So if you go to the shorts, you see all these vertical videos that Crusader engine generated over the course of this 3 weeks test period, right? And here they are. We will pretty soon. We will add the media section to world pages in Make Crusader World, Make Crusader Worlds, and also like the audio files and all that. Because as I said, we're building this portal as a multimedia kind of entertainment portal thing, right? Where you have all types of media, because we believe that in the nearest future, the media mix of any entertainment product will be very, very, how you call it? Will consist of all types of media, right? You won't get away with just creating a video. You will have to do the text, the pictures, and some interactive part as well. It will be interesting to figure out if we will be capable of developing at least like some simplified games based on those worlds. So yeah, and again, getting back to this, to Make Crusader Worlds, you see this one is based, or not based, inspired by Jordan Peterson, who is known for his, he's known for a lot of things, but among those things, he's known for, the robot noticed his work concerning the chaos and order, and combination of those phenomena, and how the perception defines the reality, right? And so it generated a world which is literally defined, like where reality is literally defined by the belief of the masses. It's a little bit like this latent psychics from like the orc race from Warhammer 40k, right? If enough orcs believe that the stick is a bolter, then the stick acts like a bolter, right? And so, but it's a different scale, like it's a planetary scale. where the whole civilization is kind of built on that, and whatever they agree on, not it's not outspoken. It's like shared belief in subconscious, sometimes articulated. So if there's a consensus that reality looks like that, then reality looks like that. And then Mad Crusader engine put the main character, who is kind of a rebel, half scientist, half philosopher, half adventurer, who kind of challenges the status quo, because of course, like in every civilization, and it's also one of the topics that Professor Peterson kind of gets back to, is that as soon as something is settled, it tends to basically degenerate, right? And this society kind of agreed that, okay, the reality looks like that, and they don't want to move anywhere, right? They kind of protect their belief system and try to avoid any type of novelty. And this main character kind of tries to convince everyone that, hey, if you kind of pay attention to your perception, to your to things that make themselves visible to you or manifest themselves, then the map of the reality may really change in different ways, in awful ways, but also in beautiful ways. And he immediately becomes the persona non grata, of course. And the whole story was about that, like in the first novel. Yeah, and you see, we have here 1, 3, 4, 5, 31 chapters, right? It approximates something around 200 pages if you would read this book on in a printed version. So again, you can go chapter by chapter right on the portal and read it. You can switch between chapters. And in the end, what you now have also is the lore guide, which basically describes in a Dungeons and Dragons fashion, describes how world is designed and what it is made of, what are the main forces, what are the institutions and factions, and how the different forces work in that, peoples, cultures, locations, and noticeable characters, of course. Characters. And so you have all that. And that's basically the kind of this starting point of the universe as we see it. So you have the world description, you have the lore book, basically, or lore Bible, and you have the first novel. And having Mad Crusader engine with its current capabilities, you may have your new novel like every other day, right? In our current state technologically. And of course you have like two, 3 videos daily, like micro dramas, like small narratives, small little stories in video format, and you have your soundtrack and you have your generated podcasts and stuff like that. So yeah, I very much recommend everyone, because like one of the comments that we usually get is like, yeah, well, I can go to ChatGPT and ask it to write me a story, and it will write me a story. And we're like, yeah, but no, because like if you try to ask ChatGPT to come up with, or whatever other system, to come up with a consistent novel which is like around 200 pages, you will immediately find out that it's not capable, like in a basic setup, it's not capable of remembering, so to speak, right? That in chapter 2 something happened and now it has consequences, right? That it maybe influenced the relations between certain characters or factions, or something is non-existent anymore, right? Or even, you know, the dog used to be a German Shepherd, that now it's a Golden Retriever, like 3 chapters later, right? So you can have all those inconsistencies, and if you're serious about world building and storytelling, and we spent like the majority of development was spent on basically creating the rule engine that will allow us to, or rather, the engine to build, first of all, like to check the storytelling part versus the world architecture, right? To make sure that things that it puts in the stories actually may happen in the world with these rules and this physics, so to speak, right? And then it checks basically chapter versus chapter and paragraph versus paragraph for consistency, so that it makes sense in terms of the flow and consistency of events, and also the interconnectedness of events. And I can tell you, it's a pretty, not trivial task to accomplish. And then the same goes to videos, right? Because again, we don't have like the other popular comment is like, yeah, but everyone does AI generated videos. And we're like, yeah, but there's a difference where you can spend all the time that you have figuring out the best shot out of whatever combination of LLMs you have, or LLM-based services that you have. Because from what I've learned so far is that basically, if you want a high quality AI generated content, it will cost you 1 day of one person's work for 1 second of video, right? So it means thousands of generated scenes from which a human with the taste and experience and some creative intention chooses which things work and which things don't work, right? And it also means that one short video for TikTok or Instagram, if you're doing it alone, yeah, and you are duly motivated to do it like all day long without distraction, it will take you something approximating like 35, 40 days to come up with 35, 40 seconds video, right? Yeah, and we don't want that. We don't use any, let's say, humans, right, in the process. Everything is 100% AI generated. But what we have to do is, again, to check for consistency. So it's kind of multi-agent type of the thing where some components are kind of creating, the other components are checking for consistency in terms of the style, in terms of the narrative, in terms of like the consistency of the one scene against the other scenes in one chosen video. And altogether, it should be consistent to the product it is related to, right? If it's a book trailer, it relates to the specific book, and it has to be like has to make sense, right, within that. It should be about that book, not about something else, right? And and again, it takes an hour in the current stage, maybe less already. Like the speed accelerates all the time. So to get, like, instead of 35, 40 days, you have rather 35, 40 minutes to get the video. And then again, it publishes it on its own, and tracks the performance, and then learns, because the other thing important is that every item that is mentioned in the book, in the chapter, in the paragraph, or shown in the video, or is spoken about in the generated podcast, every item, meaning like the character, the location, the artifact, the thing, like important piece of story, right, or content, everything has the basically ID in the database, right? And when the video goes live, everything that is used in this video, everything that, let's say, takes part visually in this video, like the voiceover, like the copyright, so to speak, right? The characters that are shown, the items that are shown, the locations that are shown, they are tracked on the back end, like this ID, this ID, this, and ID, this are in that movie. And so when tracking the stats, monitoring the stats or performance of the video, the engine sees like which items are, how each item, how each ID performs. And it learns from that, and it also marks, the has additional parameters like, hey, this item looks like it's a candidate for merchandise, right, or toys, or so we call it marketable parameter. It is called, right. So it's something that can be, kind of taken away from the narrative and turned into some object, whether digital or physical. And so this data gathered from how people perceive this content also informs like which of those marketable items work better than the others. Right? So there's that. And what else for today? Let me see. Do we have questions? Yeah, people say like, yeah, that's an interesting question about like the general dislike to generated content. Well, that depends on whose opinion is that, right? Well, I know I know who wrote the comment. I guess that the general dislike to the AI generated content relates to, first of all, like the low quality stuff, then misleading stuff, then just things that are like bad, either bad intentions or poor production quality or things like that. That's the first thing. And since people are experimenting a lot, and also a lot of stupid people are experimenting with it, and people who don't know what they're doing, or just for giggles, and the algorithms of social media nowadays allow people to get, all kinds of audiences, especially if they put in a couple of dollars for promotion. So that, of course, creates certain, this annoys people. But then you look at videos on TikTok that generate like 50 million views about very, very poorly produced. It's not even animation. It's like animated pictures, right? I mean, like the quality of the content could be low, but the emotional response to certain pieces of content shows that the potential is there. And then the question is like, it needs to learn. I mean, like, it's in the nature of LLM itself, right? It needs to learn. So if it will not pass this or have the ability to live through this period of oceans of bullshit content, it will never have a chance to learn to get better, right, at our expense in a lot of cases. So my point is that in general, the quality will rise. Then it depends on what are you talking about in terms of like where AI generated content is relevant and where it is irrelevant, right? So for mass market, it's absolutely relevant. I mean, in most of the cases, it will be higher quality than whatever UGC or even professional production can make for the mass market, because like professional production for mass market tends to be cheap, right? Because it's a mass market stuff. AI can hold a certain bar, especially if it's done systematically, right? As we try to do it, if it's not occasional or things like that. So there's that, and then so basically, again, what's your point? What's your purpose? What's your intent? Right? What are you trying to achieve? If you're just trying to kind of just get all the eyeballs possible on the planet, sooner or later, like the changes to the algorithms in distribution channels will figure that out. I mean, like, just give them time. And low quality generated content will be somewhere in the basement, right? And the higher quality content will be more accessible or more frequent, right? And then again, the relevance, what are you doing this for? Like for majority of advertisement, it makes a lot of sense. For things like, it's basically the same thing as it was with chatbots and let's say customer support, right? Of course, it's cool where the live person kind of answers your question, right? In customer support. But then it doesn't have to be that way, right? Because every person that answers your question in customer support could be in different mood, could be sick, could be, not very professional. In the end of the day, it costs also money for the organization that could have spent them elsewhere to improve the customer experience and stuff like that. So the same goes here. Like, there are certain things that today require manual labor in creative space that shouldn't require manual labor, right? And in these situations, like, generated content will be very, I mean, like things like the whatever announcements you may have if you're, let's say, a game developer or software developer. If you can add the AI generated video that looks nice and it's relevant and it's kind of maybe even informative, and to publish it instead of the or accompanying the release, like the text release notes, or content update or patch note, that's absolutely fine. So yeah, I think that depends on a lot of things and needs and the current situation on the market, current state of the media landscape also should be taken in consideration. Let me see, maybe we'll have. Yeah, well, everyone agreed that everything depends. And basically, everyone said that pretty much the same that we already discussed. Yeah. So, yeah, intention and point and relevance is the key. Last thing for today, since we have this world building engine, if you guys are game developers, or especially indie game developers, or movie makers, especially indie movie makers, or you have some kind of multimedia project, I don't know, maybe it's a virtual esports, something like that, something that is, like involves media pixels and kind of tends towards, or is based on, or driven by, or is related to narrative, then chances are high that you are very busy with the development, like basically with coding and production. And chances are also high that you have the very deep and elaborate lore for your project in mind, right? But you don't have time or resources like money or maybe expertise to make that, right, to have that for your project, because even if you have budget for that, you need to involve in all sorts of activities like finding the right person or team, because, well, you can do it all on your own, but again, it's a matter of focus and how much time you're willing to spend on the project in general. And if you will try to find the team that will generate, let's say, create the lore Bible and maybe some stories. I mean, like not like one-pager stories, but consistent long novels or books, and also then create the, let's say, the social media package, like the vertical videos or horizontal video, whatever types of videos and sounds and all that. I wish you good luck. First of all, because it's expensive. Second of all, even more importantly, is that hard to find the teams that are experts in lore development and world building, especially if it's not something that they can make up, right? If the world already exists, and most likely it will be poorly described because it's mostly in your head. Documentation is not existent as it usually is. And yeah, you will need to spend time to find people who are capable of doing that, then to brief them. And in order to do that, you need to, kind of to describe everything in a written form available to other humans to understand, and then spend time explaining that, and then back and forth, and maybe in a couple of months they will get what you want, and then after that, I can only guess how much it takes to develop a like real novel, right, based on your project. And also the novel that you will like as the, let's say, IP director, game director, or project director, showrunner, whatever you want to call it. And we invite everyone who finds themselves in that situation, and who is willing to, feels adventures, and just wants to, to see what Met Crusader engine is capable of. Contact us. You- Let me show you. We have the website, which is called madcrusader.com. There it is. So get on the website. You see the comment section. You can join the Discord or find us in any social media, right? Drop a line, and we believe that we can help you. It may cost you something like, a monthly salary of your community manager, or we can agree on, on cross promotion or something like that. We provide you with this content, and we kind of do a collaboration publicly or something like that. So keep in mind, if there's something that you want to experiment with and you feel like your project needs it, let us know. We will help you out. We believe that that's it. And again, it will take you very little money, effort, and you can come up with one liner. Just mention like, hey, I have a fantasy universe where this and that happens, and the main character has to be named like this. And also he has a very special artifact which is called like the sword of a demon slayer, right? And we'll take that and we seed it to Met Crusader engine, and you will be surprised, how elaborate your universe can be, and how multi-layered your lore may become. And again, it's easy. You can disregard the result. We can try a couple of times, and or you can use it. You can use it as a fan fiction, like professional fan fiction related to your world. Or if it fits the canon perfectly, then you get your canonical lore Bible and content that you later can use again as a book on Amazon, as text content, like chapter by chapter or paragraph by paragraph or scene by scene that you can share with your community. You will also get a pack of videos for your social accounts, and it will really untie your hands in terms of interaction with your potential audience, your early fan base, and it will, what else? Last couple of years on every games conference, and I think on the movie conferences as well, everyone is talking about IP or franchise and stuff like that, and every person from some investment organization or publisher shows up in front of like indie developers and goes like, yeah, guys, you need to develop the IP. And the indie developers are like, yeah, like, and how do I do that, right? Who has time for that, or resources, and what does it even mean? Because those people will not necessarily explain you what IP means. So if you add that package to your product, even if you are in the early development stage, you can add it to, let's say, your pitch deck, right? And say that, hey, we already working on like the expansive in terms of expansion, not in terms of expenses, elaborate lore layer for this world, and you will be surprised how fun it could be. And again, summing up for today, the thing, meaning the Mad Crusader engine, can look at the person, right? Figure out what are the, let's say, publicly available features of this person and generate a fucking fictional world based on that and come up with a novel in videos. And of course, it is capable of doing the same for something more sophisticated and detailed, and more worked on something as a, the game or a multimedia project that you are developing right now, because you can, in your imagination, even if you don't have this written out, you have a lot of information that we can feed to the machine and get you your lore package, right? So I guess that's enough for today. Thanks everyone for watching and for comments. Don't forget about the Discord. Don't forget about social media. And I will see you next Wednesday, same time. All right. Cheers, guys.